Like in episode 2, this brief first scene is actually really important. Vash hitches a ride across the desert, but chooses to get out 500 yards outside of town and walk the rest of the way through a sandstorm so he can pass through this enormous graveyard. Interesting. Another healthy reminder that there's a lot to Vash despite his moronic facade. Meanwhile, the sandstorm is keeping the insurance girl stuck in the city of Orleans with a spoiled rich girl named Stephanie who is quite skilled at poker.
Are you playing Old Maid? Well, actually, we don't know any other games, but thank you very much. Come on, don't be that way, please.
I'll play Deal Me In.
Well, all right then. Let's get this show on the road before my luck changes.
One condition.
Huh?
High stakes game. The bet is for your life.
There are three things I can't tolerate in this world. People who put ice in alcohol, the pattern on a silhouette scorpion, and slime who don't appreciate tranquility. A robbery in my jurisdiction? Not on my watch, damn it!
That's right, this is manga material, but not from the beginning, but before the beginning of the series. This episode is based on a standalone pilot chapter Naito wrote for a potential series that eventually would become Trigun. It's sort of like an audition piece for manga publications, and plenty of authors do it. It was well received by Shonen Captain, the magazine that would later publish Trigun, and Naito revised the concept a little to make it into a long-running story. It was a mildly amusing little vignette, but Vash was a very different character in it, so it caused a few minor problems for this episode. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Sheriff Stan here awaits the arrival of the town proprietor, Mr. Bostock.
All right, Dick. Will you inform the Earl of what's going on?
Hey, don't insult the man. Oh, that's his name. My bad.
Dick! Dick?
Dick tells Bostock that 4 gunmen have taken his daughter Stephanie, her steward, and 2 strangers, gee, wonder who they are, hostage, and are demanding a wagon, which is like a steam-powered SUV, and $100,000 in consecutive bills. Bostock realizes he was personally targeted for his wealth, and is afraid public knowledge of his daughter's capture will attract seedier locals to violate her and toss her in the desert, even if the ransom is paid. Stan then implies that Bostock might know about that sort of behavior from personal experience, and Bostock lets him know where he can shove that little bit of history.
What? Don't order me around, Bostock. This is not the old days.
Behold, the dance that set off 1,000,000 dumb AMV hell clips. I mean, you could put any upbeat song to this and find it funny, so I got sick of seeing it. But these 3 just don't know what to think yet.
Hey, look out! Get back here, dumbass! There's a hostage situation in there. You want to die? Huh? Dang fool! They're shooting at him! He's dodging the bullets! Dodging? That freak doesn't even realize he's being shot at.
Now, I wouldn't count on that. Keep in mind where Vash just was and the look he had on his face. In light of that, and the fact that he's clearly dodging these bullets while pretending to get his groove on, this is definitely an act. In any case, it gets the bandits one more hostage.
Help me! Help me!
They take his gun, and with it, some of Vash's discretion, apparently, as he probably has his most out-of-character moment in this series.
Are you okay?
Huh?
Whoa! What is it? Hey, stop it! Get away from me!
You're a creep. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I always thought this was off the mark, even for Loverboy. He slithers over for an upskirt peek in the test chapter this story was based on, because he was a very different Vash. He was kind of brash and sarcastic, and while he did try to fight for justice and resolve things peacefully, he certainly didn't prevent fatalities, and death didn't really faze him much either. And he was also lascivious. Stephanie is supposed to be around 15 years old, if not younger, but Anime Vash has a more pure affection for women than a voyeuristic objectification of them anyway, and he's definitely not a pedo, so that makes it worse. Considering he's supposedly here for a more serious reason, and Stephanie is a terrified hostage screaming at him to get away, his squirming over to get a glance at her golden gates not once, but twice, just seems out of character for him. They changed several things when they adapted this little chapter, but I think they should have altered that detail too. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Stephanie tells the bandits that if they were after pocket money, her father can get it for them easily, and the gunmen react very strangely.
Damn you! I'll kill her! I'll kill you right now! Knock it off, Gene! I'll pull the trigger! I swear! Just cry! Scream, damn you!
Gene is momentarily spooked by a table toppling over in the corner, giving Ingwe time to step in and jam the gun. He and Meryl both notice that not only was it Vash that knocked over the tables, but that the gun couldn't have gone off anyway. It had been jammed with chewing gum. Which brings Ingwe to a conclusion that Meryl still doesn't want to face for a whole nother episode. Outside, Stan has hired a scummy band of mercenaries that would kill their own mothers for a wad of cash to retrieve Miss Stephanie, and Bostock is understandably squeamish.
I trust they won't accidentally shoot my daughter?
Now, that all depends on how much money you offer them. Think of it this way. Unless you make it worth their while, they won't be able to tell her apart from a sandroach. Ain't that right?
It's obvious at this point that this episode is playing with the perception of good and evil, along with that theme of appearances from episode 2. After all, it's not the bandits we see in that villain spot during the theme song for this episode, it's these mercenaries working for the supposed good guys, and we already have a little reason to suspect that the bandits have special reasons for doing the kidnapping, thanks to Gene's outburst. Again, this is a theme that will come up about as often in the series as Vash's name, which is about to come up when a radio report comes through that Vash the Stampede is in Orleans, confirming Ingwe's suspicions. Anyway, the wagon arrives and Marvin goes out to search it and give me a cheap joke.
It's a trap!
Marvin! That bastard!
In a vengeful rage, Gene rushes out to get himself run over too, and the wagon crashes through the saloon, knocking out Denim as well, because we'll only need one bandit to spout exposition in a minute anyway. The mercenaries handle the operation with the grace and finesse of a lobotomized water buffalo, and Boot Knife rescues Stephanie from the... Ingwe's put 2 and 2 together by now and isn't surprised that Vash slipped out of his ropes, but... Oh wait, I hear plot!
So, can we kill him?
You can kill anyone but the girl!
Stop, I beg you! Please don't shoot!
You know what, friend? Anyone ever tell you that you lack compassion?
What's the matter? Just shoot the guy!
Well, tough guy, so I guess you think you have a hostage now. Just shoot him! Then we'll all make more money on this deal!
Rem.
Millie takes out a few of the crazies, and the others sort of take out each other, but that was certainly an interesting scene. For one thing, it's the first time we've seen Vash actually get angry and point his gun at someone's head, not counting his playful non-threat in episode 1, and then there's the thing that actually stopped him. He utters a woman's name, Rem, and lowers his gun, despite being encouraged by all parties, including Potato Man's companions, to take the easy way out and just kill him. The excuse he gives for not shooting the douchebag is that he doesn't like causing pain. It's clearly just a half-truth, but like most everything in this series, it's just a teaser to plague you for a good while before we get any answers. But yeah, things about Rem and his backstory were actually foreshadowed very early on, even in these quote-unquote fillery episodes. It'll be a while before we get any answers for Vash anyway, but for Ingwe, we finally get his real reason for drawing out Bostock. He has no interest in the money, but was trying to get revenge on the millionaire for his deeds as Grim Reaper Bostock 15 years ago when he was young. His parents were among many hard-working farmers who worked the unyielding dirt of that land for years to make it arable, a near impossibility on this planet. Just before it was invaded by gun-toting opportunists like Stan and Bostock, who slaughtered the entire population, leaving just a few young stragglers like him and his men, and building their empire on the blood and sweat of their victims.
You're lying.
At this point, lying would accomplish nothing. We don't care about the money. Whatever happens, I will not run away. However, I will take revenge for what happened 15 years ago. Mark my words.
Now that it's out in the open, Vash checks on Ingwe's men, making sure they're okay, and makes the bandits' new demands known. Stephanie will be released in return for a duel between Bostock and Ingwe, a duel that old man Bostock cannot possibly win.
He was feared 15 years ago as Grim Reaper Bostock. Amazing how the love of a daughter and the passage of time can change a man.
Now, Vash's behavior here is strange, though not out of character, but interesting in light of future episodes. He puts great value on the past here, telling Stephanie not to look away from the duel lest she deny the gravity of her father's actions and the foundation that her life was built on. This is odd because a lot of Vash's speeches in later episodes are about disregarding the past and embracing the future that is always open to you. But it's still definitely not out of character for Vash. After all, he encourages others to move forward regardless of their pasts, but never to just forget it. And he values his own past a lot, refuses to forget his own mistakes or promises for anything. And while he doesn't ever stand for revenge, he seems to treat showdowns between resentful parties differently, for reasons that will become obvious when we find out why exactly he's roaming the world with his bizarre gun in tow. Actually, his encouraging this duel at all is probably more out of character, seeing as he tends to throw himself in front of bullets aimed at others even if the shots are non-fatal. But two things get him out of this one. First of all, he's an excellent judge of character, so there's a good chance he knew what Ingwe was going to do here and wasn't worried. And second, he's positioned between the two duelists here, and we'll learn in episode 10 that he has some nifty talents for preventing fatalities while in this particular spot. So I don't think he had any intention of letting these two kill each other. Anyway, Ingwe does the right thing and only shoots Bostock through the shoulder before turning himself in.
Listen, I don't want you thanking me for anything. I just simply got distracted and it threw my aim off, that's all. Can't believe he's really crying. See you later, I'm turning myself in.
Whoa there. It's too soon for the epilogue.
Oh, it's okay, there's one episode left. Oh, wait, you meant... Oh. Stan reveals that he has planned from the beginning to let Ingwe kill Bostock before killing Ingwe himself and claiming he had tried to resist capture. But as long as he eliminates all the witnesses, including Vash and the insurance girls, he can tweak the story any way he wants.
15 years ago, this man stole every right to this town. I should have been just as powerful. Yet I was stuck as the lowly sheriff. I think I'm way past due to receive a little glory around these parts.
Stan gets to utter one more pretty clever line.
How does it feel to kill unarmed innocent people like that?
And I have a question for you. Do you feel anything when you burn your garbage?
Before Vash gives Meryl a massive wink and leaps at Stan, distracting everyone just long enough for Meryl to, whoa, PMS Queen be packin'. Yeah, we saw hints of this way back in episode 1, but it's pretty funny to see Meryl step up to Kicktail and take names of all people.
How did you figure out that I was armed? I don't remember telling you about it.
Remember? You helped me in the saloon. I can recognize the smell of gunpowder and grease instantly.
Okay, it's official. Vash has superpowers of some kind. That is ridiculously impossible, and he only starts flaunting his inhuman abilities more when it all comes to a head in episode 5. But before that, we're introduced to Vash's painfully corny mantra that turns everything watercolor.
Love and peace!
And I should probably mention how the manga test chapter differs from this version. Suffice to say, it's much more rushed and comically slapsticky, even with the tragic flashback jammed in the middle. And like I said, Vash is a little different, and it should go without saying that Meryl and Millie hadn't even been created yet. But the most surprising thing is that all of Ingwe's posse die in the manga version, assumedly before Naito decided on Vash's extreme pacifist tendency, and to reserve death for later in the story at more crucial moments. Not only that, but Vash sets up the duel and Ingwe actually kills Bostock, at which point Vash disables Stan before he can take advantage of the situation, and then shouts love and peace in a cocky fashion while, I kid you not, Stephanie huffs and blubbers in the background. That would have been a disturbing episode, but of course Trigun had a lot of changes to go through, and that story, while not canon to the manga, works pretty well after being heavily modified in anime form. But now on to the real clincher, episode 5, Hard Puncher. So it's here that our story really begins. Oh no, the main plot doesn't kick in for many episodes to come, silly. This is just where the manga initially began, and things start to change and develop in anticipation of the main conflict, which is, again, still pretty far away. You can tell because from this point, major cities are named after months of the year. And in the manga, all cities were named after months at first, not counting the village of Little Arcadia. Kicking things off in the city of Inepral, just west of May. And keep in mind that the following events were the beginning for the book, and it may become obvious why the anime held off playing them out until now. So Vash is eating pancakes at a family restaurant when a little boy named Thomas...
I'll clean out the Thomas stable every day! Come on, Mom, please!
Told you that was going to be awkward, begs his mom for a real gun. Suddenly, a pack of jerkily moving, slow-motion blurred thugs, which means you'd think they'd have plenty of time to get away, but I know it's a visual motif or something, bursts through the door and blasts Vash through the face.
The $60 billion double dollars is ours!
I'm so excited I can shit.
Wait. What did he say?
I'm so excited I can shit.